So you had mentioned to me that there is a specific type of bird that literally, like when you were working at the birding store, and the feed store, you would notice you're going to sell more feed when this particular type of bird comes to town. Like, what is that? I can't remember what it was.
There's a couple of them. One of the birds that come to mind is a house finch, and they're here sort of year round. Their populations are very low now because of some health issues they had within 10 years ago, but their population's coming back up. Goldfinches, beautiful birds, and there's a lesser goldfinch on the west than the regular goldfinch on the east coast. A beautiful yellow bird, the males are in the summertime. By now they've lost their beautiful bright yellow, look like canaries, but now they're down to a dull yellow, look more like the females. But they come in small hordes, and they'll sit and camp out for about a week on your feeders, depending on what you have and what's going on in the territory, and as they're moving around feeding. And that's always fun. Another bird that does that to some extent, unfortunately for some people, is the Grackles and the other blackbird clans. They tend to group together after the breeding season in large flocks. They'll come in and maybe spend a week or so in your neighborhood, and it seems like about every 5 minutes they show up at your feeders, all 50 of them, and start eating everything. That's a group of birds you don't necessarily want to see at your feeders, but there's a lot of colorful birds that come in groups too.
So is there anything that you can do to keep the Grackles and the Starlings away? And by the way, please ask us questions. This is your chance to get to ask Richard all of your specific birding questions. But is there anything you can do to get the Starlings and Grackles?
Two things that are fairly easy. One, Cole's safflower. And it's what you hear of safflower oil in the grocery store. The safflower seed is a slightly bitter, hard-shelled seed. Most of the birds love it. Blackbirds, for some reason, don't tend to like safflower seed. They'll throw some of it out, and there's nothing there for them to eat. They'll move on. So sometimes when the Grackles get really bad, happened to me about a month ago, that they've kind of left now, fortunately. But I changed over to safflower seed. They'll come in the first day and throw a lot of it out on the ground. Then they just give up. They're used to coming to that feeder and getting seed. It's not there and nothing for them to eat. But cardinals love safflower seed. And a lot of the other birds that you normally have in the wintertime, they're hanging around your house, they'll eat the safflower. And then when the Grackles have moved on, you can put your regular food back in. Safflower is such a good food. We even put it in the special feeder mix. It's a nice seed to have, but you don't have to run all safflower. Except when the Grackles are here to get rid of them. And of course, some of the feeders, like the tube feeders, makes it hard for the Grackles to hang on to it and eat. So you want to have feeders for short perches. And in some cases, you can put a dome over a feeder. If you're using a bowl type feeder, and you put one of the large plastic domes over it, it makes it hard for the Grackles to get up in there, but the small birds can manage that. That's another way to do it. The other thing is, they're birds, they're natural here, and there's a lot of birds. The bright side is you'll have a lot of birds in your yard. Enjoy them.
Yeah.
As best you can.